According to a 2009 entry of the Statesman Yearbook, edited by Dr. Barry Turner and published by Palgrave Macmillan, in 2009, Mexico was the 10th most popular tourist destination. Now, tourism is way down, and it is common for American people to think of Mexico negatively. While Mexico has had some trouble with crime, it is also a country full of rich culture, as well as honest, kind, and hardworking people. When I was a kid, Mexico fascinated me, and it continues to do so today. I'm majoring in Spanish, and researching Spanish-speaking countries is something that I've done a lot. And now, I would like to tell you about some of my research. First, I'll tell you about Mexico itself. Then, I'll tell you about some of the culture and the people. And then last, I'll tell you about some of the communication behaviors in Mexico. To begin, I'll tell you a little bit about the country. Mexico lies in Latin America, next to the United States border. According to Culturegrams Online, in the article Mexico in the section Land and Climate, Mexico is about 3 times the size of Texas. Mexico has variety in temperatures and climates, including deserts, jungles, beaches, mountains, and even volcanoes. It also has many urban areas, one being the capital of Mexico, Mexico City. Culturegrams Online says that Mexico City is one of the world's largest cities. City life is big in Mexico, but there are still many rural areas. Not only does Mexico have a wide range of climates, it also has a wide range of cultural practices. Mexico has a very rich culture, full of people who value traditions. Mexicans often enjoy lively celebrations as well as fascinating holidays. One such holiday is Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. The people of Mexico use this time to honor their deceased family members. One part of the tradition is leaving food, drinks, or items that the family member loved on their graves so that the deceased can enjoy them on their yearly tour of Earth. Partaking in Dia de los Muertos means not only praying and reflecting, but also celebrating and commemorating the lives of the deceased. Another important part of the culture is the fact that Mexicans are very hospitable and often invite their loved ones into their homes. They will almost always offer refreshments to their guests, and it can be considered impolite to refuse. In addition to traditions as an important part of Mexican culture, the way Mexicans communicate is a vital part of their lifestyle. There are several forms of communication that we can look at, and I'm going to start with verbal communication. As expected, Spanish is spoken by 93% of the Mexican population. What you might not know, however, is that there are as many as 100 indigenous languages still spoken in parts of Mexico. These languages include some with Mayan and Aztec roots. In regards to nonverbal communication, Americans usually stand at a decent distance from each other when having conversations, but that would be considered unusual in Mexico. In Mexico, when they have a conversation, they stand very close to each other and use a lot of hand gestures. There is so much more to Mexico than I mentioned today, and I hope you're intrigued to find out more. To recap, first, I told you about Mexico as a country. Second, I told you about Mexican people and their traditions. And last, I told you about their communication behaviors. Mexico is often painted in a bad light, and I hope that my speech helped you to see a glimpse of the beautiful culture and people instead of the bad reputation. Thank you.